Welcome back to the Football Today podcast, brought to you by Betfair, who are on your side this EPL season. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. Marcus is back in the chair for some Premier League football. No more international breaks till March. He's fired up. Let's go.
Thank God he didn't mention that he looks like Ben Chilwell in this intro.
I didn't. I actually forgot about that, but I do look like Ben Chilwell. Thank you.
Oh,
Getting back on the park. I miss Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, a little bit. I wonder what he's up to. What he does during the week. Does he train? Does he just train?
I don't know.
It's a bit of a boring life.
Bit of a boring life. No games. A bit injured at the moment.
Can't play for the under-21s, I don't think, can he?
No. Well, he's not under 21, so... Oh, you can.
You're allowed to have a few players.
That's true. But very excited. The Premier League's back for Matchweek 12. No more international breaks till March, as I just mentioned.
Thank God we don't have to watch the Socceroos anymore. Come on.
No one said you had to watch the Socceroos, but you're a very patriotic man.
Yes.
We will get into that, about the Socceroos and some world football news as well. EPL news, the best Betfair back or lay bets for EPL Matchweek 12, including some expert tips from your man. What's his name?
T-Dog.
Tony Hargreaves, Betfair expert as well.
Some interesting ones this week.
He does.
Plenty of value.
Bit of value,
Stick around to find out.
Stick around for that. We're going to finish with some quick fire tips as well for the EPL this weekend. No trivia this weekend, probably a good thing. We usually stick that up, but we'll bring it back next week. So make sure you watch it next week as well. Before we start, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Football Today podcast. Follow all the socials, Football Today AU on TikTok and Football Today Australia on Facebook and Instagram. All right. Let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
Not mucking around. Around the grounds. We'll start off with the Socceroos. As Aussies, we like to talk about the Socceroos.
Yep.
Socceroos results. I'm actually glad I ended up not getting a ticket to this game. 0-0.
Did you see tickets were available? I was going to go.
Was there?
I was going to go. My mate asked me.
It said sold
earlier in
out.
the afternoon, and they said allocation exhausted.
Yeah.
Me and my mate checked for tickets, and there's plenty of tickets available. We had row A behind the goals.
Really?
We didn't end up going. But
maybe people resold them or something. Yeah, 0-0 against Saudi Arabia. It was a weirdly fun game for 0-0 though. There was a lot happening.
Was it?
I thought it was all right.
Towards the end, I thought we were very lucky to get away with it. Their goal got disallowed.
I'm not going to bring the game into disrepute, but the Aussies might have paid the refs a little bit for that goal getting disallowed. Saudi Arabia probably should have scored there.
There was a bicycle kick chance. There was a bit of everything.
Bicycle kick chance for the Aussies. Yeah. Not enough opportunity to shoot or not creative play style from the Aussies.
Weirdly end to end, but no real big chances. I don't know. The finishing lacked from both sides.
Yeah, very bad finishing. I think Saudi Arabia very unlucky, but Australia still hold on to second place in the group, which is good.
Despite
not
draw
winning
this morning against Bahrain.
Draw this morning 2-2 against Bahrain. Again, not the best result. We lost to them last time, so maybe...
If you haven't seen the highlights for that game, please just go and watch the goals. It's
dodgiest 2-2 game of all time.
It'll be the worst 3 minutes you've ever spent.
If you want to, do that. Yeah. If that's how you roll. At least the Aussies, first minute Yengi scores. Yep. They get two back in the 73rd and 77th, I think, something like that.
Yeah, in the 70s. Yep.
And then it's all right, the Aussies are going to lose to Bahrain twice in a campaign. That's just embarrassing. Yep. They're ranked outside the top 100. Really not good enough. Then Yengi scores again, then 96. So he scored 96. in the first kick of the game pretty much, and the last kick of the game. So good on him for finishing. He had the easiest finish ever at the start.
Proves to Tony Popovic that he should be playing more because Mitch Duke got heaps of minutes previously. Even when they brought Mitch Duke off the pitch, didn't bring Yengi on. Yengi gets a start and he's scoring goals, and that's what he has done for Australia throughout his international career.
I really like him. He's at Portsmouth. He's moving up sort of the ranks in England. I really like him. He's a big guy, but really athletic. So Aussies still hold on to second place in the FIFA World Cup.
One win from 6 games and still in second place.
We are so lucky. It goes Japan. I can't even reach how high Japan are in this group. They are amazing.
Yep.
And then you've got everyone else fighting for second spot.
Else. It's shocking. I think Japan are on 16 points and the Aussies are on what?
Seven. So we'll hang on to second, but we'll need to get some wins on the board in March. Otherwise, we're a bit cooked for the
Very lucky. Indonesia beat Saudi Arabia.
What the hell?
That was actually kind of crazy.
Massive upset, yeah.
But the Indonesians are very happy in the Socceroos comment section.
We did talk about that ages ago. Bali away would be nice.
Bali away. Bali away. That'd be a good away.
Socceroos playing Bali or something like that.
Yep.
That would be so cool.
Let's do it.
There'd actually be a big crowd there. Half of the Bali's Aussies. I reckon that'd be pretty cool. All right, next one I want to talk about in the world football is San Marino's third ever win, Marcus. They've only won 3 games since 2004. 2 of them have been in the last 2 months. They've qualified for the first time ever to the next stage of a tournament.
Their last 15 game form trend actually looks all right compared to their previous
140. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had 140 games in a row without a win, 138 or something, and now they've had 2 in the last month. All 3 of their wins ever, though, fun little fact, all of them have come against Liechtenstein. Oof. So, what are you doing, Liechtenstein?
Yeah, look.
Because Liechtenstein have had a few wins. But I had to put that in there. I called it on the show last week. Everyone was talking about San Marino. I said it the other time, check out their Twitter page. The fan page is hilarious. They're just, every minute, they're doing some funny tweets about the game. Qualified through the next stage of the Nations League, so they go up to Group C.
Yep.
They're going to get absolutely smashed in that group.
100%.
But I'm very happy because they actually are building a bit of a fan base now. Yep. So happy for San Marino.
And hopefully football can grow a little bit now in San Marino.
Yeah, hopefully. But they've only got 30,000 people.
Like we care.
Yeah, I care. I secretly care. Next one. My homeland, Scotland, in strong form.
You just want to talk about your homeland.
Scotland, let's go. Scotland in strong form. Beat Croatia and Poland. They're no easy beats. That's their first win was Croatia last week. Their first win in over a year, which is a bit of a worry. Lots of draws in there. Lots of draws in there. And then they beat Poland as well, backed it up. So Andy Robertson's killing it. I was just happy that Scotland are doing well. And I really hope they can make some more big tournaments because their fans are awesome. The vibe, the team, I think, is really fun to watch.
93rd minute winner from Robbo.
Yeah, so he's doing really well. So I put Scotland in there. Why not? They're in good form.
Why not?
Last one I want to touch on for Around the Grounds. You can probably touch on this a little bit more. Christopher Nkunku. So you're a big Chelsea man, obviously. He's reportedly not happy with his Chelsea playing time. And Man United might be circling on Nkunku.
Yeah, look, I think that's fair.
I think it's fair.
That's the problem when you got what Chelsea are doing with so many players.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to hear this probably throughout the next couple of seasons, even towards later this season. Players like João Felix who aren't starting.
Yeah.
Going to get a little bit unsettled. There already are some players that are being unsettled that you don't really hear about behind the scenes. Christopher Nkunku's been one of them. The problem is he's not going to start in his natural position at Cam because he's not starting over Cole Palmer.
No, that's true.
And Nicholas Jackson at the moment is in really good such form. A perfect fit for the system. But in saying that, Nkunku has the most goals of any Chelsea player so far this season.
In all competitions. All competitions. Yeah,
I think he's already bagged almost double digits, if not double digits already in all comps.
Jeez, that actually surprises me.
He scored a winner against Bournemouth in the Premier League.
Yep.
And he scored a crap load in the Conference League as well. So
true. He got a hat-trick, didn't he?
I think he's got 2
in the Conference League. Yeah, 2, yeah.
And a couple of braces as well.
It's going to be a lot of balloons for his little celebration there.
And a hat-trick in the League Cup when we played like Barrow.
Yeah, that's right, Barrow.
He's scoring lots of goals. The balloon's coming out a whole bunch. But he's not in the Premier League.
Not in the Premier League. And Chelsea are playing pretty well in the Premier League. It's like, if it was last season, I reckon they would have probably given him a few more minutes, maybe just to try a few things. But the form is actually pretty solid from Chelsea that they don't want to change it too much. So it's going to be crazy if he goes to Man U or goes somewhere else because I reckon he'll do well.
He's a very good player.
Very good player, but you're right, he doesn't fit into Chelsea's makeup at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just way too many quality players in that front 3, front 4.
Just put him on. Just play all out attack and put him in there somewhere.
The lineup will literally be Mudryk, Felix, Neto, Nkunku, Palmer, Jackson.
No defenders.
And then Robert Sanchez and go.
And Cucurella. Just chuck him in there somewhere.
Cucurella,
I love Cucurella. Anyway, that's Around the Grounds. That's interesting on Nkunku. So watch this space. We'll have a chat about that next week if there's anything that comes out from that. Before we get into the back or lay bets, we always have a look. The best game of the match week. This is actually a tricky one.
Is it tricky? This is the only good game of the weekend.
That's my point. There's not many to choose from.
Okay.
Definitely was a bit of sarcasm there.
Yeah.
Manchester City versus Tottenham. Now, in the past, there's just been a lot of really good games between them, so that's why I've chucked it in there. Even under Pep, Sonny's had a lot of good games. Harry Kane back in the day had a lot of good games against them. Man City couldn't really win it.
Remember the Champions League tie as well?
Champions League, yes. I was over there actually for that. Yeah.
That was a bit crazy. I think Sterling scored in the last kick of the game and then it got disallowed.
Yep.
And Tottenham scored
that's one of the best games ever, actually, yeah. So they've had some really good matchups.
Yep.
City, though, they've lost 4 straight games. We've been talking about this the last couple of weeks because there was an international break, obviously. 4 straight games in all comps. First time under Pep.
One against Tottenham as well.
One of them was against Tottenham in the League Cup. Yep. And then Tottenham, they're so up and down. This is the Tottenham way. I feel so bad for Ange. He's getting sucked into the Spursy way. They've gone win-loss in their last 5 league games. That is just classic Spurs. Like, you look at their fixture, you go, all right, they should win this one. They won't win that. Oh, they should lose this one. They'll win that. then they just keep doing that all season.
Weird. Yeah.
They need to find some consistency, and I think this is going to be a really good game.
It's getting to the point where, like, I don't know, will people be calling for Andrew's head? But at the same time, you're thinking, look, they're not playing
that bad.
They're playing the best football that they've had for a long time.
They just need to get some
It was very negative under Nuno, Conte, Mourinho.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's obviously not the manager's fault, because this is happening under the best managers in the world, likes of Conte, Mourinho, and then it's also happening under Ange at the moment.
So, no, you're not wrong. They're playing. They've got a test. So they've got Man City, obviously, which is a huge test.
Yes.
Then they play Fulham, which are actually in decent form. Bournemouth, Chelsea, and then they get a bit easier. But the next month, if they can get 3 wins, like the wins where they're like, or a couple of draws in there as well, where they're like, all right, we can finally get some consistency if we know what our brand is. But they just haven't done that, and there's already 12 weeks into the season.
If they can get, like you said, 3 or 4 league wins up until Christmas, where they play, City, Fulham, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Southampton,
like, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose to Bournemouth and Fulham, because that's just, like, they're going okay, but Tottenham should be beating them. But anyway, it's a very hard one. Last meeting was a 2-0 City win, but the Spurs before that have only lost 3 of the last 10 meetings, including 3 draws and 4 wins. So
I think it was a 3-3 draw as well last year.
There was actually, there was one in there. They've had some really high-scoring draws, and then Spurs have actually won a lot in this meeting.
They've been a bit of a bogey team, haven't they?
Usually they're not too good at the Etihad, but
at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. What was their other stadium called before that? White Hart Lane. They had actually
3-point lane.
3-point lane for Chelsea fans. Yeah, they actually had a pretty strong record there. So I genuinely think this is going to be really close. Let's go for the biggest match week. We'll go
a draw.
Are you going to draw?
I did my written prediction on odds.com.au if you want to check that out.
Check it out, yeah.
Also has the Football Today videos embedded.
Beautiful.
But I predicted a 1-1 draw. So I also suggested to lay Manchester City with Betfair in that article. So I think that could be a shout, laying Manchester City.
Yeah, I really like that.
Because injuries as well, they're cooked a little bit. All of their starting centre-backs are doubts. Ruben Diaz is already ruled out. Nathan Ake is a doubt, Manuel Akanji is a doubt, and
that's all
John Stones is a doubt. That's all their centre half depth. So,
and you got a lot of good attackers. You got I'm trying to think for Tottenham.
Like for Tottenham,
Solanke, and he's in good form. Brendan Johnson's in really good form.
Johnson's good form.
Yeah, I can't say Tottenham are going to win. I'll say draw as well. Who do you reckon's going to get on the scoreboard for the biggest game? We'll give it
for the biggest game.
Goal scorer.
I'll go Solanke just purely because he's in my FPL team. Hopefully he can find the back of the net.
He stuffed me up last.
If not, Sonny has a good record.
Yep.
Madison might get a start in this one because
he will. I reckon.
Pape Sarr is injured or coming back from an injury.
Yep.
For City, Haaland's the safe bet.
Haaland who? No,
safe bet. Oh no,
he hasn't scored the last couple of games.
This is the one where Gundogan actually
hits a banger.
Does something.
I actually don't mind that. Gundogan banger because he always produces one of them or 2 of them a season.
Yeah.
And then I'll go Brendan Johnson. He is in really good form. He's
Ever since he deleted his social media, he
deleted his social media, blocked out all the haters. Even the Spurs fans were having a go at him. Don't have a go at people on
especially your own players. Like
you just, it's so low to do that. Anyway,
not proper fans.
No, but I reckon he might score 1-1. I actually really like 1-1. 1-1 or 2-1. I'd be going a draw.
Yeah, agreed.
You probably get a bit of value on the draw as well. So there we go.
Yes.
All right, that's the best game of the match week. All the other games are there's some really bad ones, but we'll get into that later. What we are going to get into, though, is the back or lay bets thanks to Betfair, the only place to back or lay bet on the EPL this season. Going to have a look at Tony's tips first. Actually,
Tito.
Going back a couple of weeks ago, I'm just going to touch on it again. We had 4 of 6 tips from Matchweek 11 that got up, so we're very happy with that. We're going pretty well. T-Dog, Tony Hargreaves, Betfair, expert tips. I'll go through the first couple and then you can go through the next. He's got 4 back bets. He's going to back over 2.5 goals at $1.85 for Arsenal versus Nottingham. Both teams have scored the last 2 meetings. I think both were 2-1, which surprised me a little bit, but they've had some scares against Notts in the past. I think last year was when Arsenal were on the downslope. Notts got up at 1-0 and everyone's like, ooh, there we go. Notts as well have scored in 10 of their 11 games this year. You got Chris Wood, somehow the second most goals in the league. I was on our FIFA or AFC the other night and it pops up Chris Wood, this really good inform card. I'm like, what the hell? Chris Wood's usually like a 70 rated player. Yeah, he's like 85 now.
He's doing bits.
He's unbelievable, Chris Wood. So good on him, even though he's getting a bit older. But yeah, not in really good form. I really like the over 2.5 goals at the Emirates. They like to play a bit more attacking there. $1.85, I don't mind that from Tony.
Chris Wood for New Zealand, 3 games in World Cup qualifiers, scored 6 goals.
6 goals.
6 goals in 3 games.
It doesn't count when you're playing like America, Samoa, and like.
Yeah.
Because like that's what Australia used to be qualifying in, and we have the record 32-0.
The biggest ever international win, or biggest win ever.
Yeah, and Archie Thompson has the most goals.
Socceroos have it. Way.
Yeah, the fact that the Socceroos have the most goals ever is wild.
Unreal.
But I'm actually glad we don't qualify in that anymore because it's not doesn't help your like development.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So Chris Wood would be the best player in that Oceania in like by
100%,
mile.
100%.
Next one, so we're backing they're over 2.5 goals there. Next one we're going to back. This one's a little bit more value. Backing Brighton at $3 for Bournemouth versus Brighton. This is a tricky one.
This is a tough one.
Because Bournemouth have been in really solid form, but Brighton do like to play against them. Brighton have won 3 of the last 4 meetings, also coming off wins against Manchester City and Tottenham, and a draw against Arsenal. So they're beating the big teams.
Yeah.
They can crumble sometimes against the lower teams. Not that Bournemouth's like a really low team. They're like mid-table.
If this was at the Amex, I'll be all for it.
Same. I think also Tony's really liking the value here because I think Brighton are the better team, but you just get a little bit of extra value because it's away, obviously. But they've had some really good away games, a couple of draws there. So $3, I don't mind it. It is probably the trickiest bet out of the ones we've got.
Yep.
But I think Brighton are a better team. So that's what he's backing for those two. What 100%. Else is he backing?
He's also backing both teams not to score in the Southampton versus Liverpool game at $2. I think that's
really good odds.
Put your house on it.
Gamble responsibly.
First, last. Liverpool have had the best defence this season. What is the stats score? I think they've conceded about 6 goals.
6, yep, bang on. Yep. I'll read it out for you.
And Southampton have the worst offence. So
they've scored 7 goals and Liverpool have scored 21. that's wild.
Southampton only scored 7. Liverpool's conceded 6. It's only leaning towards one way. $2, still plenty of value.
Yeah, that's really good. It's pretty much you betting on Liverpool to win to 0 because they're going to win. They're going to beat Southampton. Correct. Randomly, there was a 4-4 game randomly when a few years back against them, and I saw Tony brought that up in his Betfair article, but there's going to be nothing like that. Like there could be 8 goals. I think he said this. There could be 8 goals, but it could be all Liverpool.
It'll be 8-0.
Yeah, 8-0. Actually, it could be.
What? But if Liverpool win this and City lose to Tottenham,
the title's done, mate.
The gap will be 8 points.
I'm calling it. First of all, sorry, Arsenal fans, they got no chance from here. I don't think.
Yeah,
unless Liverpool like capitulate massively, right?
Arsenal are 9 points behind currently.
That's tough. I think
it's going to be a bit tough.
City still have a chance because they probably are still expecting themselves to win because Tottenham are Spursy. But yeah, I think that's a bit cooked.
100%.
What's the last expert tip?
Last expert tip. Tony? He's also gone both teams to score, but this time he wants it to happen. Okay. $1.75 in the Newcastle versus West Ham game. I don't know, this season just in my head, I just feel like there's always goals when these two teams are playing this season.
Well,
past results. As T-Dog mentions, in the previous 3 meetings, 4-3, 2-2, and 5-1. So even over 2.5, over 3.5 possibly, if you want a bit more value.
4-3, 2-2, and 5-1 is wild.
Could be a shout there. West Ham are in the bottom 4 for their defensive record this season, so there's definitely goals on offer, so that's $1.75.
Yeah, they've improved the last couple of weeks, so I think they got a goal on the board. Actually, they had a 0-0 against Everton, which was a stinker, but other than that, they look a bit better on offense. And then Newcastle, they're still scoring some goals, but they just don't look like themselves at the moment. So
they don't.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a draw, 1 or 2-0, and you get both teams to score there, which is beautiful.
100%.
You go first if you want. Keep rolling into it. What's your bet of the week?
We've had quite a few backs from T-Dog so far.
So we're both going to lay, actually. Yeah.
We're both going to go a lay.
All right, I don't mind that.
And we're both laying head-to-head teams as well. So I'm going to lay Brentford at $3.20 on the road against Everton at Goodison Park.
Okay.
You might be thinking that and being like, Mbeumo, Wissa,
the best duo in the league, possibly.
But I'm going to say this, Goodison Park, I think Everton haven't been bad. They just haven't got the points on the board to reflect that.
Yeah.
They're currently 16th, 2 wins and 4 draws. But in all fairness, they've only lost 1 of their last 5 games, Everton. And they're also undefeated in the previous 4 meetings against Brentford.
Oh, bang.
They've won
You've convinced me.
They've won the last 3 meetings, in fact, and the 4th one was a draw. So they have an excellent record against Brentford, so that's what I'm holding my hats on to here, $3.20.
You've honestly convinced me. And Goodison Park, no matter where they are on the table, it's not easy. There's a lot of draws there. So you get the draw in the lane.
And just to remind you, you get the draw in the lane.
You get the draw or the Everton win. So I think that could be a draw. So perfect. Very nice. $3.20.
Who are you laying against?
Oh, this is a bit of an easy one, and I thought the odds just popped out of me. Laying Crystal Palace at $6.20 against Aston Villa. It's at Villa Park. $6.20. That is just lick your lips for that. That is beautiful. Palace have 3 losses, 2 draws at home, no wins. So you don't even, I think Aston Villa will win, but you don't even need them to win. You can get a draw here because they have been a little bit shaky this season compared to last season.
100%.
Palace are 18th on the table, haven't won against, that's right. Crystal Palace haven't won at Villa Park since 2013.
And think that was when they were dog poo.
Yeah. I was like, what are you going to say?
They were getting 300 people a game.
That's
the stadium was getting empty.
Yep.
Because I remember Chelsea were horrible that season. And even we whooped them.
Yep. That was Villa were really bad then.
Chelsea. That was back when Chelsea had Alexandre Pato and he scored in that game.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
That's a long time.
Good memory back then. So they haven't won there in a long time. If Crystal Palace don't win, you get a draw or a win. I think Villa are going to win. $6.20, just beautiful value there. So laying Crystal Palace there. So we've got some back bets, we've got some lay bets, all thanks to Betfair. So there we go. EPL Matchweek 12 is here for the Premier League. Let's go through some quick fire tips. I'll read them out, and there's some very one-sided games.
Tips, sorry.
Anyway,
maybe they will be quick fire this week.
I think they'll be quick fire. Leicester City versus Chelsea. Who are we going?
I'm hoping Chelsea.
Yep. I think they could score, Leicester, but I'm going to go with Chelsea win there.
Yep.
Fulham versus Wolves. This could be a weirdly fun game.
This is funnily one of the better games of the weekend.
Fulham versus Wolves.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God.
I'm still going to go Fulham just with the home advantage.
Fulham been really good. Emile Smith-Rowe, I reckon, will get a couple of assists there. So, Fulham from both of us there. Yep. Everton versus Brentford. You're saying you don't want Brentford.
Don't want Brentford. So I actually am leaning towards an Everton win.
Really?
Bit of a shock sort of win.
I thought this is, you love a draw. So.
They just won the previous 3, so I don't know. They're going for 4 in a row.
Don't mind it. I'll go draw. I'm going to be you and sit on the fence.
Fair enough.
Get a bit of value there for the draw.
You getting any splinters on your bum?
No, that's why I wear jeans. Arsenal versus Notts Forest. This will be a really fun game.
Yeah, it will be a really fun game.
Because Notts have been scoring.
But at the Emirates, look, if Arsenal don't win this,
that'd be so funny.
Title race done.
I might just have a short of me just laughing for like a whole minute.
I'm going to be hate watching Arsenal so bad. What time is this game?
Oh no! Actually, it's on at 2 a.m. on Saturday. I might watch it.
Yeah,
I'm at a
2
music festival. I'll watch it after.
Saturday night, Sunday morning. That'll be good. Straight after Leicester.
Come on, Notts. We love Notts.
Come on.
After Forest. Next one, Bournemouth versus Brighton. I already touched on that.
Good game, actually.
I agree with Tony in the expert tips. Mm-hmm. I'm going Brighton, but this is going to be a really close game.
I'm going to go Bournemouth, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on.
Actually, no, I'll go a draw. I'll change it. I'll go a draw. I just think Bournemouth are really well drilled.
Then go Bournemouth.
Fine.
Bournemouth. It's going to be so excited. Next one, Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. I already touched on it. Villa, I reckon.
Villa for me.
Could smash them here.
Yep.
Man City versus Tottenham. We both went the draw.
Correct.
Is that right? Yep. 1-1 correct score if you're into that sort of market. Southampton versus Liverpool. This could be the biggest margin of the season. I'm going to say 5. Has there been a 5-0 yet? No.
No, there probably has been. Let's be honest. They have been some
season?
really...
Maybe.
Oh, well, there's been some
season.
big losses. I mean, Chelsea beat Wolves 6-2.
Oh, yeah, true. That hasn't been like a massive to nil, yeah.
Yeah, there hasn't really been a massive...
I'm going to say 5-0 to Liverpool.
The largest... The largest to nil victory that I can think of most recently was Liverpool actually beating Bournemouth, if you remember. They beat them 7-8-0, was it?
That's right, I forgot about that. I reckon it'll be similar, yeah.
It could be similar. But Liverpool easily.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ipswich Town versus Man United. This is good. It's another fun game.
It's a fun game.
But we haven't really talked about that. Amorim, the new manager.
First game in charge for
Man U, which is one of the biggest clubs in the world. So
It'd be interesting to see how they set up.
Did you see, this is obviously not quick fire tips as usual. Did you see, you know how you get like stadium tours? There's all these like, I don't know, 20, 30 people getting their stadium tour in the rooms.
Yeah.
Amorim's in there at Old Trafford and he just shakes their hand and they're like, what? And then like there's like all these international people just like bowing down to him like, you are God, you are God. And he goes around and shakes, thanks for coming. And he was like really nice.
To be fair, like
that's so cool.
The people who do go on those stadium tours largely are very gullible.
Yeah.
Like I've seen YouTubers like walk around like and just buy a full kit at the shop
they get photos,
and then walk around and like, oh, you player?
Yeah.
Oh, photo.
Photo, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
but it was actually Amorim They might not
That's
even,
cool.
100% there would have been people in there going, I don't even know who that is, but photo.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's a
will
big
be a
game.
really fun game.
We didn't even tip it. Who are we going? I'm going Man U. First game under Amarim, they're going to fire up.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'll go Man United as well.
Yep. And it would be funny if they lose anyway. Newcastle versus West Ham, the last one. And lots of goals we predicted. I'm going to go
Definitely.
Newcastle at home. I know they haven't been very good though.
This game is so unpredictable.
I know. Because West Ham at their best is solid and so are Newcastle.
They are, but I just really have been underwhelmed and unimpressed with West Ham, even more so than Newcastle.
Yeah, fair.
I think Newcastle was slowly
Yeah, they got a win against Arsenal.
coming up, and they also got the win against Nottingham Forest
So you're going Newcastle?
just before the break, so Newcastle for me as well.
All right, perfect. All right. That's it for Match Week 12. That's the final whistle for the Football Today podcast brought to you by Betfair. Check out all the fun videos, all the socials, Football Today AU that we'll be doing. Send in any questions, get in the comments. Thank you very much to Joe behind the camera. Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you, Stats Guy. See you recovered from COVID well.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's another episode of Football Today. We're out.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.